In this video, I'm going to talk you through exactly how I started my dog training business. I left my 9 to 5, started my dog training business, transitioned it to be completely online, and now it generates 6 figures every single year. I'm going to talk you through step by step what happened when it happened. This is a completely unscripted video, and I'm hoping some of the things that I talk about today from my journey are going to touch with you guys. They're going to hit a nerve with you guys maybe they're going to make you think about what you're doing or what you want to do. Maybe they're going to make you realize that you can leave your 9 to 5 job and start an online coaching business exactly like I did. And maybe it's just going to open your eyes and give you a little bit of inspiration. So through this video, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So for those who don't know, my name's Jack and I'm a dog trainer. I run a very successful online dog training business. We've grown over 220,000 social media followers across 3 platforms. We generate 6 figures every single year, and I've made a few mistakes along my way and I've had a few good successes along the way, and I want to talk about it. So it all started, I had, like most people, a 9 to 5 job. A 9 to 5 job that I didn't like. I used to sit down and listen to podcasts on business and how to escape the hustle and how to get out of the 9 to 5 and the rat race and things like that. I used to listen to those and think that could never be me. But I'd always had a passion for dogs. I'd always loved dogs. I'd always wanted to work with dogs in some aspect. So what I did was I thought, if I could just earn a part-time income on the side of my full-time job, my 9 to 5 job, that'd take the burden off, that'd make things a lot better. So I went on a journey for about a year of just learning dog training, essentially learning my craft. Going on courses, working with different trainers, doing things like that. That's what I did. That's like what most people would do when you're starting your job, your journey, your career. You go and learn, and that's what I did. After about a year, must have been around a year of learning, I then started offering sessions, just one-to-one in-person sessions for free. Essentially, I wanted to get my hands on as many dogs as I possibly could. I wanted to work with as many dogs as I could. I wanted to work with clients. I wanted to get a feel for the game, basically. So I started offering sessions for free, which I recommend a lot of people should do. It really, really helped me understand what it is I want to do, which path I want to go down. It was a really good thing, real good learning curve, and it was fun. Dog training is fun. From there, like most people, I then started offering paid sessions, paid one-to-one sessions, really, really simple. And at this point, I was also trying to build the social media. I apologize, there's a plane flying over, you might hear that. And there are sheep literally just behind the camera, so you might hear them as well. But I started offering paid sessions and I was trying to build the social media as well. So I was posting on social media. I know nothing about social media at this point. I knew nothing, didn't really know my videos. I started filming them with no mic. They were filmed on my phone. They were awful videos and they're out there for you guys to still see. They were awful videos, but I did them. And I came up with a social media rhythm, pattern, system, strategy, whatever you want to call it, that felt attainable and sustainable to me. And we've actually done a video on that as well, so you should check that out too. But I started posting on social media and I was doing some in-person sessions as well. Not many at this point. I was probably making at this point, if I made £600 in a month, that'd have been a good month. I was working full-time at this point. And then what happened is I really thought, you know what, I could take this somewhere. And the aim was always to replace my full-time income. That was always the goal. The goal was always to just replace the 9 to 5. And I did, and I replaced the 9 to 5. I was just doing, at that point, one-to-one sessions, and I was doing some workshops, so with a group. I was doing some workshops, and I left my 9 to 5. My wife was 6 months pregnant. I wasn't earning enough to leave my 9 to 5, but I thought if I don't do it now, I never will. If I wait until my son is born, I will never take that jump because it'll be too much of a risk and I won't want to take that leap. So I took the leap. So then that was it. I was out of my 9 to 5 and I was on it on my own, going solo, as it were, and it was nerve-wracking. I was very, very, very nervous, and I had times at that period where I thought, just go back to the job. I was told by my old employer that you could come back if you wanted to come back, and that was in the back of my mind, don't get me wrong. It's almost easier if you break ties completely. It was harder because I knew I could go back. So I started taking on more clients, more one-to-one clients, more workshops, group classes. And I was also starting to grow the social media. The social media was gaining traction. I was learning what a hook was. I was learning, you know, mics, and I was learning cameras, and I was learning editing and all of that sort of stuff. And my social media was gaining traction. At this point, I was probably at maybe 5,000 or 6,000 on Instagram. So we were gaining traction. And what that meant was that a vast majority of my following didn't live close to me. The vast majority of people who were following me, my potential clients, my leads, didn't live near me. So out of necessity, I thought I need to find an online service that I can offer these people? And the honest, simplest one was an online one-to-one. And that was what I did. I started offering online 60-minute one-to-one sessions. Same as I was offering in-person sessions, online 60-minute one-to-one sessions. And I started running them as well as my in-person training as well. And again, the social media was rolling and rolling. I couldn't serve enough people just doing the online one-to-one stuff. And it was all getting a bit messy because social media, I was getting loads of messages on social media. And I was also got, a landing page and things like that. At this point, I started to build my website. And I was really thinking I need to find a way of serving more people, because I was working lots of hours and it was all time for money, and it wasn't hitting the numbers really that I wanted to hit, that I thought I could hit. And I thought I need to find another way. So we did. At this point, I started doing a coaching program. Essentially, I would work with clients one-to-one, online, via WhatsApp, using video analysis. They would send me videos of their training. I would tell them what to do, what changes to make, things like that. And we started charging a monthly fee for it. And clients would be on for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, that sort of thing. Very similar to what personal trainers do. But we started doing that in the dog training world, and it was a big hit in more than one sense. Financially, very big hit. It took off, and that took our revenue. That was the first time we crossed the £5,000 a month threshold, was using our online coaching. £5,000, £6,000, £8,000, £7,500, £6,000, £8,000. We were having months bouncing around in that ballpark, and we were doing really, really well. And that was a light bulb moment, was online is the space to grow. And at this point, my following on social media was probably hitting the 30,000 mark, 35,000 mark. And this was doing really, really well. So I then went on, but I was still doing the in-person stuff at this point, still trading time for money because I enjoyed it, because I still like training dogs. I then went on and rented a facility. I rented a unit and we kitted it all out. And I'll post a picture here of the facility. And we kitted it all out with artificial grass and signage and things like that. And it was a really cool space. And we did one-to-one sessions in there in person. But most importantly, I used it to film all of my content. I used it to film social media content. And then again, I've took on more bills at that point, and our revenue had grown. We were probably 10K a month at that point, close to 10K a month at that point. And then I was really thinking, my social media following is growing far faster than I can work with people, if that makes sense. And I had a waiting list, and it felt very messy. Again, I was working a lot of hours doing in-person one-to-ones, online one-to-ones, and coaching. I was working a lot of hours. It was very tiring, and I had the unit, and I was there cleaning up and doing things like that, and there was a lot going on. So what I decided to do then was drop the online one-to-ones, reduce my in-person one-to-ones, and open up what we call our online academy. It's a membership, a subscription-based platform. And essentially, I filmed content. I would film training content with my clients' dogs, with my dog, and we would teach people how to do things, how to solve barking, reactivity, separation anxiety in video courses. And rather than selling these courses as single one-to-one courses, we put them all into this academy, into one place, and we charged a monthly fee for it. On top of that, we had a community page where members can talk to each other, but crucially, not only could they talk to each other, they could talk to me. I would go on there once a day, and I still do now. Every day I go on there and I answer clients' messages. I answer their questions. They get support and guidance as they train. And then we started running lives as well. So I do live Q&A sessions and live webinars on there as well. And this grew massively. This took our revenue from 10 to 15 to 20 to 25K a month. The online academy was a big hit, and it was a big hit for more than one reason. Big hit for me because it grew financially to where we wanted to be. Big hit for me because it meant I could serve lots of people all at once. Big hit for my clients because it gave them what they wanted at a very affordable price. Yeah, it gave them a stepping stone, a bridge to start working with their dog, to solve their dog's problems, without waiting for me to have spaces available on one-to-one sessions and things like that. It gave people what they really wanted. And then I had a bit of a light bulb moment. Again, I was still working a lot of hours, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to take this completely online. I'm going to take my dog training business completely online, which is very unheard of. As I'm sure most of you know, dog training is very in person. And I knew that I could take it completely online. And that's exactly what I did. Took it completely online. I pushed my marketing towards my coaching and my academy, and I dropped everything else. And we sit here now to this day, talking to you in that position. I've dropped the unit, I don't have the unit anymore, I have no rent, my running costs are very low, my business is very lean. We have our academy, which serves a huge population of people, but gives them what they need and what they want at a very affordable price. It's a membership, it's monthly recurring revenue, which I like because it gives you a little bit of predictability in what you're going to earn. You don't have to try and sell all of the time, because you've got that monthly recurring revenue. And I have my coaching, which is the option for people to work one-to-one with me. And my coaching has changed. You know, sometimes we do 4-week behavior boosts, sometimes it's a 3-month program. It varies and changes depending on what we're doing at the time and things like that and what people are asking for. But that's the essence of it. So for me, again, like I said, guys, it's a very unscripted video, very, very unscripted video. That's what I did. I went from working a 9-to-5 job to starting my business like everybody else did. And I didn't do anything that you couldn't do. There was nothing I did along the way that you couldn't do. I just tried to think outside the box. As soon as I could see that social media was going to push my business and drive my business, I put a lot of effort into social media. And we sit now, like I said, over 220,000 followers across 3 platforms. We've got 97,000 nearly on Instagram, 80-odd thousand on TikTok, nearly 50,000 on Facebook. I put my time into social media. My client base, they weren't local to me. The people following me weren't local to me. So my online business was born out of necessity. And I'm so very grateful that it was, because now I'm in a position where I'm essentially an online coach. I'm an online coach, same as an online personal trainer, the same as anything like that. A life coach, a counselor who does things online, the same sort of business. That's exactly what I do. So this is a video, guys, just to help you understand who I am, where I come from, what I've done, why I've done what I do, and why my dog training business looks slightly different to a lot of other people's dog training business. And it was born out of, like I said, it was born out of necessity. Now, I still do some in-person sessions, not very many, and I do them because I enjoy doing them, because I want to do them, not because I have to do them. I no longer trade time for money. I managed to work with a large portion of clients in one go. And it works really, really well. So this is just my video, guys, to say to you, if you want to do it, you can do it. I was in a 9-to-5 job and I couldn't see a way out. And all I wanted to do was earn a part-time income on the side. I'll tell you what I used to say to myself was, if I can earn my spending money, i.e. what I spend in a month on going out for dinner and whatever else, I'll be a happy man. That was all I wanted. And then when I was in a position to leave my 9-to-5, all I wanted to do was match my 9-to-5 income. I wanted to match it. I wanted to work less hours. And that's what happened. I went through a period where I worked a lot more hours. I realized it, I drew things back, I transitioned online, and now I'm in a position where I earn a full-time income in part-time hours, which is what I argue that most of you would like to do. So if you want more advice, more training, more tips, more life lessons from me, from my journey, then drop me a subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.